Brad Davis presents.
Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the D-Pad. I'm your host Brad Davis, and you're watching a show that's all about video games. This episode will take a look at Need for Speed Most Wanted. Now, Need for Speed Most Wanted was one of my most anticipated games for this year, and many other people were looking forward to it as well. Now, even though it shares the name with the 2005 Need for Speed Most Wanted, the game is very different, and Criterion put a lot of things that they use in Burnout into this title. So, how did the game turn out? Well, you'll find out in my review that's coming up right now. "2010's Need for Speed Hot Pursuit was a very fun game and was, in my opinion, the first really good Need for Speed game in a while. Therefore, I was very excited for Criterion's second Need for Speed game, Need for Speed Most Wanted. Even though this game shares its name with the Need for Speed game that came out in 2005, it isn't a sequel or a re-release. It's a different game. To be honest, the game is pretty much a blend of Burnout Paradise and 2005's Need for Speed Most Wanted. You have fast Burnout Paradise-like gameplay in an open world with race modes that are similar to the race modes in previous Need for Speed games. In many ways, this blend works very well. The cars in the game have differences in the way that they feel, which is good since this wasn't really true in Criterion's previous racing game, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. As is the case with most racing games, as you go through the game, you'll unlock features to add on to your car to make it faster. The game's crazy fast action makes for a lot of fun moments. Races are enjoyable, and getting away from the cops is fun as well. However, things can get a bit too crazy. Crazy to the point in which it even seems like it's too much for the game to handle. You will sometimes notice the game hiccup during the middle of gameplay. While this isn't that annoying, it definitely can be noticeable, especially when you are concentrating very hard during races so you won't crash into traffic. Speaking of racing, the races in the single player mode of the game are very enjoyable. Though this is true, there really isn't a lot of single player content. At least not as much as you would probably expect from an open world racing game. Need for Speed Most Wanted has more of a focus on online features and online gameplay. The game uses Autolog, which was a great feature in 2010's Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. Autolog is even more in-depth this time around, giving you more information about what your friends are doing. While this is a good thing, I sometimes felt as if the game gave me a bit too much information. Some of the stats that you will see are pretty in-depth and trivial. I personally only really care about the race times. Online multiplayer in Need for Speed Most Wanted is pretty unique in its format. The online multiplayer is pretty much a party mode in which the game sets up events at random for you to play against others. These events range from regular races, team races, stunt challenges, and co-op challenges. When you are playing with actual friends and or people who are actually playing the game the way it's meant to be played, it makes for a very fun time. However, if you aren't, then you will probably get annoyed by others breaking out of how the online events were meant to be played. In cases like this, many of the online events would be better if they were a bit less open-ended, but doing this would have obviously affected the open world nature that the game creators wanted. Either way though, I find Need for Speed Most Wanted to be one of the best games this year in terms of multiplayer, and it's probably the most fun I had with a racing game online since Burnout 3. Need for Speed Most Wanted is a really fun game. While it doesn't take long to take down the most wanted cars in single player, the single player mode is still very enjoyable to go through. The game obviously put more focus in online play and online features, and for the most part they work really well. While I find the game to be very fun to play, I do also feel as if there are some areas of Need for Speed Most Wanted that are a bit unpolished and could have been done better, such as the single player mode as I stated previously. Because of this, I feel as if Need for Speed Most Wanted won't be as memorable as it could have been. Either way though, I definitely recommend this game, especially if you are looking for a very fun racing game to play with your friends online. This episode's iMinute will take a look at Need for Speed Most Wanted for iOS. This is a really good racing iOS game and has a lot of similarities to the console version of the game. There are a good amount of events for you to go through, with many of the events being very fun to play. The game looks great on the iPhone and plays very smooth with good control. Unlike many other iOS racing games, I found the tilt controls to work very well. Pressing on the screen to brake and drift and swiping up to boost works very well also, and is very easy to get used to. Overall, Need for Speed Most Wanted is easily one of the best arcade racing games that you can get on your iOS device. I definitely recommend checking it out.
Alright, hello everybody, this is my brother Jordan, and we're going to do a sprint race in Need for Speed Most Wanted to get the fastest time, and whoever will get a point added onto your score. Alright, so I'll go first and then you'll go. So, ready? Alright, let's do it. I got 1:28.90. That's what you have to beat. Alright, here we go. Let's see how you do. Oh! I don't know about this one. Oh, I think that's it. I don't care anymore. Alright, well, that ends another Ravagers Run battle. I won that one. That adds a point onto my score. And with that, I have 8 and you have 16. In the next episode, the season finale of the D-Pad, we're going to have our last Brad vs. Jordan match before we reset things again. And I can still catch up, and you guys will find out how in the next episode. Hopefully you guys will be there to watch it. Until then, Jordan Davis, Brad Davis, we'll see you next time right here on the D-Pad. Alright, goodbye everybody.